Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads. It's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
The wind howled through the eerie silence, a foreboding whisper in the strange little world. Zane Martel stood firm, his heart pounding, eyes scanning the encroaching darkness. The chilling sound grew louder, and soon he was surrounded. Ghosts, hundreds of them, each one more grotesque than the last. Some resembled twisted humans, others demonic creatures, and many were forms Zane had never seen before. Their forms twisted and gnarled, with hollow eyes that seemed to stare into his soul, and claws that reached out as if to drag him into the abyss. Despite their terrifying appearances, Zane remained unfazed, his resolve as unyielding as iron.
You think you can take me? Get lost.
With a dismissive wave, Zane's palm struck out, shattering the ghosts like fragile glass. The specters exploded, scattering into the air, their screams echoing in the vast emptiness.
Ghost soldiers?
He recognized them from his studies of the sinister world. Ghost soldiers, dead souls of the strange little world, unique and deadly. Their origins were shrouded in mystery, their very existence a testament to the dark powers that ruled this realm. But something was off. Wisps of purple and black gas began to condense from the scattered remains, reforming the ghastly figures. It was as if the darkness itself refused to release its grip on these tortured souls.
Damn it, they can revive. How do I fight against them?
Panic surged through Zane. He drew his sky-killing sword. Its blade gleamed with lethal intent. Rolling waves of sword energy swept over the ghosts, the force of his strikes rippling through the air. But to his horror, they reassembled, unscathed and relentless. Their bodies reformed from the ethereal mist, more menacing than before. Their hollow eyes now burned with an even greater malevolence. Memories of the undead army and Glimmer Continent's fiery furnace blood prison flashed through his mind. Unkillable, relentless. The only hope was Alora's death abilities or his own devouring power. The thought of the undead army's ceaseless onslaught sent a shiver down his spine. How had he faced such a foe and survived? The odds seemed insurmountable.
Since you want to kill me so badly, I'll eat all of you.
Zane's voice thundered through the chaos as he unleashed his devouring dragon bloodline. Dozens of ghosts were swallowed whole, their forms disintegrating into the void. But then a sharp, alien sensation gripped him. Something was fighting for control of his body. It was as if the ghosts he had devoured were clawing their way back, trying to seize his very essence.
No! They're trying to take over. I can't devour them.
Desperation set in. Running was his only option. He could feel the dark energy swirling within him, threatening to consume him from the inside out. Poof! In a blur, he flew thousands of meters, but the relentless ghost soldiers stirred awake, sensing his life force. They swarmed from every shadow, a chaotic, writhing mass of hatred, their chilling wails echoing in his ears. Miserable screams filled the air as Zane ran, the ghosts in hot pursuit. Hundreds became thousands, a sea of ghosts. He came to a halt, frustration boiling over. His mind raced, searching for a way to turn the tide of battle, knowing that this fight was far from over.
Damn it, it's not over yet. Human Emperor's palm.
His powerful strike obliterated the ghosts, turning them to wisps of smoke. But they reformed, the green smoke coalescing into their previous forms. Each time, their shapes grew more sinister, their eyes glowing with an unholy light.
Not even the Human Emperor's palm can stop them.
He clenched his jaw, eyes narrowed, frustration boiling over as he watched the ghosts reform. Their laughter, a chorus of malevolent echoes, taunted him.
Power of thunder. Dark sky thunder.
Golden lightning crackled around him, shooting out with a deafening roar. The ghosts burst apart on contact, lightning tearing through their spectral forms. When they reformed, their auras and sizes had diminished, their movement sluggish and disoriented.
Yes, the power of thunder works.
His heart raced with hope. Perhaps it was nature's power, or maybe the dark sky thunder's unique counter to their evil. It didn't matter. He couldn't keep running. He had to fight.
I might as well see what happens if I combine the power of wind and thunder.
Holding the two forces of nature, he fought the ghosts, trying to merge them. Focus was intense, every muscle in his body straining to control the elemental energy swirling in his grasp. An explosion scattered ghosts, He tried again, focusing harder. This time the powers blended smoothly, intertwining like two serpents dancing in the storm. A green and yellow light burst forth, releasing a terrifying pressure. The air vibrated with energy, a palpable force that made the ground tremble.
It's done?
With wild joy, he slammed his palm forward. The explosion rocked the land, tearing trees from the ground and turning some to ashes. Yellow sand filled the sky. Below, the forests were gone, replaced by a massive crater. The impact was so fierce that the landscape itself seemed to cry out in agony. The ghost soldiers had disappeared, replaced by floating purple-black beads the size of dragons' eyes. Their malevolent presence had finally been eradicated, leaving behind a tangible, eerie silence.
It's really this time. How could an ordinary slap have such power?
Ecstasy and shock overwhelmed him. He realized why Victor Quinn, only at the peak of the second stage of the expert level, ranked first on the Zora Genius list. The magnitude of his own power left him breathless.
I shall call this move the Destroy of Wind and Thunderbolt.
As he calmed, his attention turned to the thousands of beads in the air. He used vital energy to draw one to his hand, examining it closely. Each bead pulsed with a faint, ominous light, a remnant of the ghost soldier's malevolence.
This should be a Moonsoul Pearl.
The core of the ghost soldiers, the source of their power. According to the book, destroying the Moonsoul Pearl would disintegrate the ghosts. But the paradox remained: how to destroy the pearl without killing the ghost first? The mystery gnawed at his mind. Zane's mind raced with questions. His victory seemed hollow. What new horrors awaited him? The answer lay within the enigmatic Moonsoul Pearl. Would he uncover its secrets before it was too late? The air crackled with suspense, each moment stretching into eternity. What was the true power of the Moonsoul Pearl? And what other dangers lurked in the shadows of the strange little world? Zane had to find out before the ghosts returned, before it was too late. In the dim light, Zane Martel crushed the Moonsoul Pearl in his hand. The black gas within seeped out slowly, a foreboding mist. He inhaled deeply, drawing it into his body. Instantly, his face contorted in a frown.
This negative energy, even with my devouring dragon bloodline, it's revolting.
He stopped absorbing it abruptly, shaking his head in frustration. The vile sensation clung to him, a reminder of the dark power he had just tasted.
Over 1,000 Moonsoul Pearls here. I can't just leave them. Better collect them, might need them later.
His vital energy enveloped the pearls, pulling them into his storage ring. Without haste, he flew in a deliberate direction. Ghost soldiers swarmed from every corner, trying to infiltrate his body. Zane's eyes narrowed as he saw the spectral forms closing in, their hollow eyes filled with malevolence. The air grew colder, each breath he took forming misty clouds. But Zane's resolve hardened. He wouldn't be deterred by these apparitions.
This is the perfect opportunity. I need to master the Destroy of Wind and Thunderbolt.
His fists clenched, the air around them crackling with anticipation. He could feel the power surging within him, eager to be unleashed. As he moved forward, each step was deliberate, every motion calculated. Ghost soldiers lunged at him, their eerie cries piercing the night, but he met them with fierce resistance, each blow landing with precision. Wind and thunder clashed in the air. Zane's attacks left shimmering traces across the sky and earth. Each strike decimated ghost soldiers, one after another, their numbers dwindling. 10,000, 15,000, more fell to his might.
Wind and thunder, they amplify other techniques, like the Human Emperor's Palm or the Bloodstone Blade. Their power increases. It's astonishing.
The sky was alive with the cacophony of battle. Ghost soldiers' wails echoed, their spectral forms disintegrating into the night. Yet more came, undeterred, driven by an insatiable hunger for life.
Perfect. 10,000 in one go. Time to test my strength.
He stopped mid-air, hands casting a spell. A green light glowed in his palm, illuminating the darkness around him. The power of wind and thunder coalesced, forming a formidable force. The ghost soldiers, sensing the immense power, hesitated for a split second, their ethereal forms trembling, but it was too late.
Human Emperor's Palm.
A massive green palm swirling with wind and lightning descended. It crashed down like a meteor, shattering the ghost soldiers into pieces. Moon Soul pearls floated in the aftermath. A deep palm print scorched the ground, heat waves rising from the crater. Zane hovered above the devastation, surveying the results of his immense power. The ground below was a testament to his strength, a crater of smoldering earth and lingering energy. He felt the residual power in his veins, a reminder of the potential he was beginning to unlock.
With this mastery, I can elevate my power of thunder to its peak. Each battle brings me closer to perfection.
His heart raced, not just from the exertion, but from the thrill of potential. The possibilities were endless. Each victory against the ghost soldiers brought him closer to ultimate mastery. Gathering the pearls, he moved on, his excitement growing. His thoughts raced as he considered the next steps in his journey, the challenges that lay ahead, and the power he was destined to wield. Hours later, he had advanced kilometers ahead. The sound of battle reached his ears. He hid behind a tree, creeping closer. Ahead, two women fought ghost soldiers, clearly struggling. The older sister, about 23, had a stunning figure. The younger, around 18, was endearing and fierce.
Go, I'll hold them off.
No, you go, I'll stay.
They attacked in unison, but their efforts were futile. Ghost soldiers regrouped and swarmed. The younger sister's sword slashed wildly, her movements a blur of desperation. Despite her best efforts, more ghost soldiers infiltrated her body, their malevolent energy sapping her strength. Her face turned ashen, her movements sluggish, her eyes wide with fear and frustration.
Sister, wake up. Don't let them take you.
The older sister's voice cracked with fear as she shook her sibling, trying to jolt her back to consciousness. The ghost soldiers closed in, their cold, spectral hands reaching out, hungry for their next victim. Despair loomed over the sisters like a suffocating fog. The older sister's eyes filled with tears as she cradled her sister's limp body. She fought back her own rising panic, knowing that giving in would mean their end. The ghost soldier's chilling presence made her heart pound in her chest. She could feel the darkness closing in around them, and for a moment, her hope began to fade.
Please wake up. I can't do this without you.
Just then, from behind the tree, a surge of wind and thunder burst forth. Ghost soldiers exploded, transforming into Moon Soul pearls. The force of the explosion sent a shockwave through the air, scattering the remaining spirits.
Did that just happen?
They turned to see Zane stepping from the shadows. His expression was calm, but his eyes burned with intensity. He looked young, his realm no higher than theirs, yet he moved with the confidence of a seasoned warrior. His silhouette was framed by the crackling energy that still danced around him, giving him an almost ethereal presence.
Get out of the way. They'll overwhelm you.
Zane remained calm, his hand glowing with wind and thunder. He stood his ground, facing the oncoming horde with unflinching resolve. The sisters watched, stunned. The soldiers they had struggled against were mere nuisances to him. Each movement of his hand sent ripples of power through the air, reducing the ghost soldiers to nothing more than shattered remnants. His control over the elements was precise, each burst of power intentional and devastating.
Who is he?
The younger sister's eyes widened with awe and curiosity. She felt a strange sense of relief wash over her, mixed with an undeniable fascination with their mysterious savior.
Are you okay? This place is dangerous. We need to move.
He moved swiftly, leading the way. The sisters followed, still in shock, their minds racing. Their eyes never left his back, curiosity and gratitude swirling within them. The older sister glanced at her sibling, seeing the spark of hope rekindle in her eyes. As they vanished into the darkness, the question lingered. Just who was Zane, and what other secrets did he hold?